Hello everybody, it is Obscure Nick here today with a new video, and today we'll be discussing everything from Amanda Bynes' court date to current status on where she is in her life post-conservatorship, because Amanda has been freed from her parents' control and her conservatorship was terminated a few weeks ago in March. But the question is she still being controlled? So, let's deep dive and thrive. So for those who don't know who Amanda Bynes is, she is a former child actress who starred in many Nickelodeon series such as All That, The Amanda Show, and starred in movies like She's the Man and Easy A. In 2013, she was placed under a conservatorship by her parents, which lasted for almost a decade. Now, as we know, Amanda has had issues in the past going back to 2002 with her parents, and maybe even further back. When Amanda was 16, she was wanting emancipation from her parents, according to this article, and was even possibly going to live with Nickelodeon producer DS, the creator and producer of her show, The Amanda Show, and they worked on so many other projects together. And he has a lot of suspicious behavior surrounding him just in general, so I don't know how that would have worked, or if that worked in any way. There was even confirmation with her former What I Like About You star Simon Rex that this indeed happened when he did an interview in 2013 with Clever TV.
Love to know your well wishes. What are your thoughts on the situation?
I mean, it's funny because I knew her when she was 16 years old, and any 16-year-old girl, you go through, like puberty and all these, it's like, that's the toughest age I remember being, is like 15, 16 years old, and that's when I knew her, and she had her own TV show, and she was, going through some legal stuff with her parents, and there was a lot going on then, and that was 10 years ago. Yeah. That was 10 years ago, more actually. I think it was 02.
And he worked with Amanda Bynes in 2002 to 2003, around the time when the emancipation thing was happening. So that article validates as true. And ever since Britney Spears has had her conservatorship terminated, she also had a law passed that conservatives can now hire their own representation, especially in the state of California. Then, when that was passed, not too much later, Amanda got new representation in February and filed for termination of her conservatorship. It was stated that her condition is improved and protection of the courts is no longer necessary. The conservatorship was terminated on March 22nd, 2022. So with all that being said, I do hope her finances were turned over to her in terms of transferring the money. I know Britney Spears has spoken up on Instagram a few times, whether that's her or not, and her representation are speaking against the family who are trying to pay the legal bills for their representation. And Britney and Matthew Rosengod, thank God, are not budging at all on this, because Lynn, Jamie, and the entire family wants their legal bills paid by Britney's money and estate herself. And I think that is totally unacceptable, because you guys have been keeping her a prisoner for so many years that it's like, you spent all this legal trouble to fight against her, and now that the public knows, when the public knew, and when we heard that voice recording, that's when the entire tone changed. That's when it completely changed, because now it's like, well, the court's in trouble because they can't cover this anymore because people now know, and this is leaving a bad rep for them. So now they have no choice but to terminate the conservatorship. And I bet you anything, if that family was asked if they were pressured to end the conservatorship, they would say, yes, they felt peer pressured by the public. Like, I think they would be. And if they felt peer pressured by the public, then it wasn't genuine at all. It's just like, you got caught for doing something illegal and for keeping someone a prisoner with their own money for this many amount of years, and you got caught doing it. And so it looks suspicious, and it's like the timing's very weird. And I think in Amanda's situation, the parents didn't necessarily feel pressured by the public because there wasn't many eyes on the situation compared to Britney's. But I feel like if they were going to show any type of retaliation compared to the Spears family, they didn't want to get into that in case there is like something there that that the parents and the people involved in this conservatorship were hiding, that I feel they would have to give it up like really quickly. And the fact is, BJ, that surprise witness, made a whole video on this where she said the whole trial only lasted 5 minutes. Like, and they were very open with everything at the trial. They were letting people come in and everything. And it was not this big, like, circus or anything. It was just like, we're going to keep the doors open and we're going to just let her be free. And I feel that was smart in terms of the Bynes family just saying like, hey, let's just, I only have an X amount of years anyways, we might as well not spend it in jail, because I don't know if Amanda is going to take any legal action with her parents necessarily. I do feel like she has some things to say in terms of certain people. She did say a producer, a director or producer on her Instagram, she said that years ago they told her that she was ugly. And I do think she has some things to say about certain people within the industry. I do think her parents do have a responsibility factor in this, of course. If you're putting your daughter into show business, you need to take some responsibility for that, I think. I think she has her own story to tell. I think she currently has a lot going on. Since the end of her conservatorship ended, she announced she is working on a fragrance line, and that she also released a song called Diamonds, a rap song with her partner Paul Michael. This song is quite experimental, it's quite raw, it's a candid type of work, it's very raw and unpolished, and I think that's how she wants it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's cool. Amanda is trying different avenues, so let her live however she wants to live, people. Like, that's just what we're gonna have to get used to now, and we had to do the same thing with Britney, because even if there's a mistake there, she can make those mistakes for herself now, and I think that's how every grown adult person should live, truthfully. Her fragrance line is apparently going to come out around the holidays, and I think it's going to be, she can live the life she wants to live and everything, and that's really great. And Amanda Bynes' conservatorship termination was quiet, and I think she wanted it that way. She didn't want to turn this into some super highly publicized brawl with her and her parents. And she wanted to do it quietly because she wants to live a private life. And I think she's fine with people supporting and saying free Amanda, but she doesn't want the drama from the public to influence the case in any way, shape, or form. And she just wants the case to be about the case and her life herself, not from a public influence outside, And that's what it should be, truthfully, is that being the case. People have to remember as well that she hasn't done acting in well over a decade now, and that she was a child star. She has done her work. She doesn't owe the public anything anymore. And I think she's at a point in her life where she doesn't care for that type of fame anymore, truthfully. I think she may be looking into motherhood as well, and she wants to do that all privately, and she deserves the privacy and respect after being in the spotlight her whole life. she deserves that. And same applies to Britney. Like, let's really, like, check ourselves, because some people in the Britney fan base, stan base, are expecting her to go back into music right away, but then she says the other day on Instagram she's going to take a 10-year break. And some people are really on her case for new music, and I'm like, dude, she just got out of the machine that was forcing her to perform and do music. And she's also about to have a third child. Like, I don't think music's on her mind, truthfully. So, let's let her enjoy her life and make those decisions for herself. And let's stop pressuring her into that. And let's stop being selfish and having these, like, conversations about what her next album will be. Because, truthfully, I'm not expecting a B10 at all. Like, I'm really not. And I'm okay with that, because there's 9 other albums she did that are fantastic. And I can just listen to her legacy through that. And that's totally okay. And if you're a real fan of this person, you should be happy for whatever she decides. And if you truly stand with Free Britney, you need to, like, be okay with her taking a 10-year break and being okay with it. Because that's what a real supporter and real allies do. They don't get upset with them taking a 10-year break or whatnot. So, and same applies to Amanda. Like, listen, I love a good Amanda Bynes movie. I love Love Wrecked, Hairspray, Easy A. I love them all. I love them all as well, but I'm not expecting her to ever go back into acting again, and I'm totally okay with that. And that's okay. And I think some people need to understand and check themselves and see how selfish they are actually being by saying, I hope they make a movie again, or I hope they make music again. Like, let's let them make that decision for themselves, and if they truly want to do it, they will, but if not, then back off, okay? So, it's not actually just, like, selfish, I find. It's disrespectful to the artist and individual to be forcing that type of thing upon them, because honestly, if you're forcing that upon them and trying to pressure them into that, you're honestly no better than Jamie Spears. You're really not. So let's keep that in mind. Food for thought. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and much love to you all.